Hello, my name is Pages Matam, and this poem is entitled Black Joy, Uninterrupted. Trigger warning. This is not respectable. It will not pull its pants up. It will not turn down the music. It will not bow down its head for you. This will not hide. Because this is my black joy, uninterrupted. The bubbling laughter in the throat to dilute all of the madness. This is not rage. This is my weaponized happiness. See, we are weapons, an incantation, because the street lights are on and it's time to go in. Cause mama don't want the night to swallow you whole, or else she'll grab it by its throat and snatch you right out of his stomach. See, the belly of the beast ain't nothing compared to the hands that prepared the magic of the feast, that can turn a house into a church, that can alchemize a few dollars into a Christmas, that can bring a family together with nothing but herbs and spices. This is jollof rice, peanut stew, curry goat, and plantains, because there's so many hungry little black children living inside of me that they could turn my blood into a nation at war. Because from so many of our men, I just learned to love fully dressed and always ready for a battle. But from our women, I just learned to love fully, how they name their children after stars, because we know all too well of things only being seen once they are dead. So praise you, weapon of mass constellation, you black joy grenade, loving this blackness of reading mangas and watching anime marathons, of being a vegan from the south side, of watching Dream Girls over and over and over again. It is loving the black woman who made me, the black woman who raised me, the black woman who may not be of the same branch, but I know we still share the same roots. It is writing about the joy because I could. It is writing about the love because I should. It is writing about the depression because for so long I didn't. I was drowning, caught and capsized with the currents, had anchors on my ankles, because black men are not supposed to show emotion. But this is not about how the boy finally found the surface. No, this is about how the boy developed gills and learned to furnish the ocean floor. So here I am, y'all, watching the trees bow in reverence of this laugh, to smile in the face of my inquisitors, saying the bullet did not bloom a seed in my body. I was already a garden of many loud and joyous mouths, a forest of many fires, a fist that grew into a yas, and still learned to love all of its multitudes fiercely, because shitty people in shitty situations don't get to own this happiness, this joy, this body, this proud name, this history in the unmaking, this tongue that is both a shelter and a choir of razor blades. See, we are weapons, and we will sing. We are alive, and we will rise again. I wrote this poem because I felt it was necessary to write this poem. I felt that there were definitely too many poems that were centered around violence against black bodies and black people in general, and I wanted to sort of carve out my own little space of joy, and that a space that no one could interrupt. And that's how this poem was born. It's been bubbling in me for quite a while, and finally there was just this moment around actually the Sandra Bland case that that's when everything kind of erupted inside of me, that like I can't, there's too much just darkness and pain, and I want to write from a place of joy, and I forced myself to do that, and that's how the poem was born. I think my favorite line from the poem is probably Black Joy Uninterrupted. This is my Black Joy Uninterrupted. I think there's something very powerful about such a statement that it creates a sort of ownership, complete ownership of who you are as an individual, and the spaces that you inhabit, and how those spaces then also interact with you. And I think it's such a powerful statement to say in a world that is constantly about, interrupting your joy, and by joy it's a metaphor encompassing your humanity, your livelihood, your rights, everything about you that makes you a joyful person, that makes you alive. And I think it's such a powerful and strong statement to say, this is my Black joy uninterrupted. You can't tell me anything, you can't do anything about it unless I say so. And I think that's just a very powerful statement to make. You can write, you don't have to write a thing that has to be universal all the time, right? And it doesn't have to be something that's necessarily accessible to everyone. Sometimes you write for you. At the end of the day, like, if someone happens to resonate with that, that's dope. I love it, great. But at the end of the day, the applause doesn't come home with you. The lights do not come home with you. A lot of these people, and whatever kind of thing that they do for you, at the end of it, don't come home with you. So if you're constantly writing for the people and you're not writing for you, and to fill your own space, it can become kind of harrowing, and it can become dilapidating in a lot of ways, and how you're not pouring anything back into yourself. So I hope that when people see this poem, and they see that all I was doing was pouring back into myself, and that it inspires them to always pour back into themselves.